There's this growing body of research from developmental psychology and cross-cultural studies, and also some really clever experimental studies that suggest that perhaps most humans have natural dispositions towards certain kinds of beliefs that we often call religious. So, for instance, it looks like we're inclined to see features of the natural world as caused by someone or someones, which of course supports the idea of a god or who may have created it, or other kinds of spirits who may have brought this about. We find it very easy to think about super knowing, super perceiving, maybe even immortal beings. It turns out that it's quite a developmental achievement for children to figure out that humans have very strict limitations on what they know, what they can perceive, and their lifespans. But the contrary, this sort of superpowers in some ways come a little bit easier to kids, which is fascinating. It also looks like there's reason to think that thinking about bodies and souls as separable actually is somewhat intuitive for just the way human minds work, for some reason how they're organized. It looks like we have a natural propensity to think about an afterlife as well. None of this, of course, implies that any of these beliefs we're inclined to have are true, necessarily, but it sure looks like they're natural. So they're not a result of some pathology or some weird environmental conditions, and if we could just change the environment, then people would stop being religious. It doesn't look that way. It looks like being religious is the path of least resistance.